Hello, everyone, and welcome to Trivial. It is your bar trivia night in a podcast, and we're covering pop culture, sports, current events, and everything else in the form of trivia questions.
That's right. Each week we hit you with 5 topics, and here's the catch. None of us know the answers ahead of time.
Not us, not our guests, not even you. So we're all in it together. We'll throw out our best guesses, debate a bit, banter, and probably embarrass ourselves before revealing the correct answers.
Definitely. And if any of us cheat, we lose a first-round pick in the conclave.
Yes.
What is the conclave?
Well, we lost our Pope today, Donald. I don't know if you saw.
Yes.
Did you just learn that the Pope died from me?
Yeah.
Oof.
That's great.
Well, now that's a timestamp on when we're recording this, but I will
Pete
say...
Fizzy. That's horrible.
Yes.
In Chattanooga, did they not have those little pillars of smoke come up from the grates where the Rat Kings live?
I mean, I'm to be honest, Chattanooga's not exactly a big Catholic town.
He thought it was just the barbecue place down the street.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, God.
He really died. On Easter?
I think this morning.
This morning.
He met...
He held on
Vance.
for one more Easter.
Got like 6 hours. Yeah. Well, guess what? Good time, I guess, to introduce our guest here, who is coming in from Chattanooga and enjoying a New York slice. We got Donald G.
Yeah, if you do hear me chewing, I'm eating pizza.
Yeah. If you can hear the pizza, that's why. If you can hear the rain, it looks gorgeous. He's outside a lake. And he is one of the cutest comedians I've ever met. He is somebody that I have met out and about, campuses and colleges, hilarious fella. Most recently held down quite a few shows at South by. And welcome to the trivial matters we have here tonight.
Pumped. I've actually never played trivia. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Really?
Yeah, today I learned to play that, and I learned how to play trivia. Mark this down the calendar.
You seem like, I mean, we're meeting for the very first time, but you seem like someone that would enjoy bar trivia.
You know, I have heard many times that I do look like I'm in a frat, and that it feels like a very fratty activity.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's not just for frats. It's more people in their 30s finding fraternity again. Like, it's very much like the Tuesday night crew of people needing an escape from their 9 to 5.
When I'm 35 years, I'm going to return to it.
It's like your life has gotten to the point where that rush of I know the answer and figuring it out can bring you happiness again. That's all that's left. So that's when you discover bar trivia.
Yeah, romance no longer is that interesting. The pursuit of the career is over, but bar trivia will always be there for you.
It's a rush.
I kind of like this question for you, Donald. What would be your trivia team name? Because every trivia game has a team name. You've never had one. If you were just going to throw one out there, what are you feeling?
Is this a PG-13 podcast?
You can say whatever the fuck you want.
My trivia team name. Are there typical themes, or it can be anything?
They're
just
usually pretty
punny,
I would say. Yeah.
Punny.
Trivia Newton-John. A trivia called Quest.
Pepperoni pizza.
Yeah,
I like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is that our name this week?
That's very apt. Yes.
Or we could be
Pope.
Oh, apropos nothing. I think that's also a good point to mention. So, Donald, the way that we kind of envision this is that we're all on a team together because we don't know the answers.
Yeah, I want to beat Josh.
Yeah, well, I feel like Josh secretly feels like there's competition here. He just
I'm not here to make friends.
But I am.
We can be friends. Let's team up against Josh.
So, okay, the framework is technically you are participating an ussie to do better than the other guests in previous and future weeks, and you just might get asked back for a tournament of champions at the end of the season.
So it's like me versus the George Clooney episode.
Exactly. And LeBron probably could perform pretty well. Same with Michelle Obama and Oprah.
I heard he's a big book guy. He reads a lot of books. So he would be a good trivia guy.
Yeah.
I haven't read a book since Percy Jackson.
And all the questions we asked him were about Akron. So, yeah, I feel you.
We teed that one up for him.
So, yeah, let's just jump into the first question then.
Wait, before we do,
Oh,
Josh, Donald, I have to ask, what's the temperature there? You're
Right
in,
now,
yeah, you're in the short sleeves. I need to know.
I'm not even wearing shorts, if I'm being honest. It is nice. It's
he's
beautiful.
Donald ducking it right here,
It's like
folks, on the
75
podcast.
degrees. I'm wearing short shorts. Look at this.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
it's a very Gen Z length of short.
Yeah. There's enough thigh that you know I'm under 30.
yeah,
Early
we're
tanning.
Brooklyn, Josh, come on, we're doing 5-inch inseams this summer.
Yeah, yeah,
How long?
yeah. I'll race you to 3 inch inseam.
I can't do anything
Okay.
under 9 for personal reasons, but
Sure, yeah.
That's why they give you the G. Okay. A very PG question to start. The Minecraft movie. You're aware of a movie about Minecraft? During the screenings of a Minecraft movie, theatergoers throw popcorn at the screen, have set off a fire extinguisher, and generally go wild for one particular scene. What is the name for the baby zombie riding a chicken that sets off this reaction?
bro, what?
Exactly.
Did any of us see this movie?
No.
The skibbidiest of trivia questions. This is a lot of, what's trending. But you're aware of this, right? That like people are going absolutely nuts and trashing theaters. It's outperforming every other movie of the year so far. It's a trash movie, but people go for the experience, I guess, as diehard Minecraft fans wanting to meme it up in the seats.
So I think I know the answer.
I think I do too.
Yeah, I feel like It's always interesting with like getting older, and then when there's a movie like this that's so big that has nothing to do with me. Like I don't know about you guys, I never played Minecraft. To hear these stories and to like kind of like absorb the things that are like becoming memes about the movie, and I'm like, what does that mean? Like, it means nothing to me. I'm sure Nickelodeon probably made our parents feel that way when we were little, and they're just like, why is there green slime everywhere?
Yeah.
But I think that the term is chicken jockey. That's the thing I keep hearing.
Jockey.
I'm going to be
Yeah, it's
100% honest. I have zero background or understanding of TV or internet culture or really pop culture in general. So I'm going to be the worst teammate ever
Really?
because I wasn't allowed
but
to
if
watch
you need
TV.
anything from the Old or New Testament, we got Donald.
Yeah.
That's it.
If you got some Old Testament questions in here, some civil engineering questions, got you.
Yeah.
But
What are your topics? Are those serious? Like
yeah.
you know the Bible, engineering.
I forgot to mention, Donald is one of my favorite people because he is crushing it on the internet right now, and only started like interacting with the internet a little over a year ago, if I am correct.
Yeah, like I grew up in Iowa, and we didn't have we weren't allowed to watch television. I wasn't allowed to use the internet, just like to use. So like I didn't have like access to the internet until I like went to college, and then I never had social media until like a year and a couple months ago, around like January of last year.
Wait. Okay. Growing up, then, how old are you?
26.
You're 26. Okay. So it's weird that you somehow had a childhood like mine. I'm 40,
Mm-hmm.
but I also didn't
Jesus.
have access to how dare you? Didn't have access to the internet as a kid because it didn't exist. What was your time spent? Like you're just like playing sports, playing outside?
Yeah, it was weird because all my friends were on the internet. Like all my friends had like Instagram, Facebook, and they had phones. I didn't have a phone until I moved to Paris when I was like 18. So I had no way to contact anybody. Sorry, I'm burping because of the pizza. So yeah, it felt like I was like being raised in the 80s or the 90s, and all my friends were being raised in the 2010s. And
Yeah.
so they would be like laughing about a meme, and I'd be like, "What's a meme?" Like I would have no idea.
You're like a time traveler.
Yeah, really. And so I played piano a lot, wrote a lot of music. Like I love music. Played a lot of sports. Um, I would chase deer. That was a real big activity. I was a deer herder. So you could chase deer to the edge of a highway because they wouldn't go across the highway. So you could like loop them around and like get like 30 deer in a clearing. Like that. Yeah, we had a pumpkin patch.
Hey, who doesn't love a pumpkin patch?
Yeah,
There's
no.
a pilot for sure of just 3 Midwest guys in a pumpkin patch, and none of them have ever seen a meme. Like, this
Yeah,
is
exactly.
the faces of
I was
that
gonna
pilot.
make a reference to Encino Man, but Donald wouldn't get it. But that's kind of like what he was living, right? Like he's just been brought to the future, and he's like, I don't know what Twitter is.
Yeah, and then
I'm not
yeah,
even
and then I
supposed
went
to
to
be here
college.
today.
And then I went to college at Georgia Tech, which is like the most tech forward institute in the country, right? So like, it was like all about AI and computer science when I got there, and I was like, I can not type.
Yeah, and was there a mention of moving to Paris somewhere in there?
Yeah, I after high school,
Paris, Texas.
I took
From
2
parish to
years.
Paris.
Yeah, I dropped out of high school when I was 17 and worked for a year at a factory, which sucked. And then applied to college, got a scholarship, and took all the money I made working and went to, bought a one-way ticket to Paris and was effectively just homeless in Paris. I like didn't have housing, so I'd bounce from hostel to hostel or stay with random people that I met. And then I met this beautiful family who let me live with them for like a year. But and then I went to college.
That's another adventure right there.
Yeah.
So listen, there is nothing interesting about Donald.
Sorry.
Back to the Minecraft movie.
Trying to
The
get to know
correct
your friend.
answer is the chicken jockey. You
The
were
chicken
correct.
jockey.
With like the weird,
that,
like
George.
I'm still jiggy with it. I know memes.
Well,
like
I didn't know what that term referred to until you asked the question. So it's a zombie chicken? What did you say?
it is a rare but naturally occurring hostile mob monster in the game. So it would be like to talk Pokemon, like a Mewtwo magically appearing, like a big rare deal, and so people were super excited to see it in the movie, I guess, and went nutty.
I think people used to call me that in high school too when I started doing musical theater.
Mewtwo?
They used to call me a chicken jockey. That was a rumor.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're doing musical theater, you chicken jockey.
Well, I played a homeless guy in My Fair Lady. That's about as close as I ever came to musical theater.
Okay, so as a bunch of aggressively nice Midwest dudes, we have a men's health question, which is that recent reports have shown male life expectancy is lower than women's, with some researcher calling for a renewed focus on dude health.
I'll drink to
So-
that.
Yeah. Let's just
Keep
keep
it that.
punishing our livers and solving things with whiskey. Okay. So, on the men's health tip, in what country did Movember start?
Did Movember?
Movember. Oh, are you
Josh.
aware of Movember?
What
He
is
doesn't know
Movember?
what Movember is.
Oh my.
This is
So-
embarrassing. I'm sorry.
No. So I can explain this much. I want to give you the most to then guess a country, I suppose. There is a month. It is the 11th month out of 12 we have called November.
Yeah, I know that one.
And great. Okay, so we have a baseline.
You remember November.
A mustache November is called Movember, and so people to raise awareness of prostate cancer and raise money for research and addressing this dude-related condition have started Movember, and so people will raise money from their friends and family by growing out a mustache for those 30 days because
It
they
sounds
secretly
like-
want to know what they look like with a stash.
It sounds like a country that has a significant amount of wealth and feminine men.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm guessing America,
Icelandic.
France, England.
Okay, so it's Anglo. You're feeling Anglo Movember.
I never considered that. I didn't even know this was a thing outside of America. I never.
We can appropriate just about anything, so
Yeah.
I feel like a month. Yeah, Movember.
Like, this does not sound like a Nepalese holiday. You know?
No.
I don't think they're doing this.
And
in Oslo.
for the lack of facial hair here, I'm going to say the Asia continent is probably out the game.
Yeah, the Japanese, it was just this thing of like, yo, can anyone grow a beard?
Yeah. I dare you to grow one chest hair.
Yeah.
All of Korea. Do it. Show me.
Remember when he called us aggressively nice a few minutes ago? I've never been called that before. I have no idea. I'm gonna guess America.
Yeah? Double down?
I mean,
Yeah,
it
I'll
could
double
be Canada. Could be Canada.
You're going Canada?
No.
Why? Okay, here's the thing. Why I've always when I hear Movember, I'm always like, why didn't they try to like put more of the word
harder.
mustache into it?
Hmm.
Like Movember or something. Is there a reason?
Mustache
Yeah.
Ember. Mustache
Well,
Ember
that's
would be
why
great for September. Mustache.
I don't think it's Canada because it would be like Stashawan or something like that. You know, like they would punnier it up.
Moosevember.
Or Mapril.
Why'd they choose November? That's the other question.
No Shave November.
No Nut November.
I'm gonna go Ireland.
Destroy Dick December.
Yeah.
That's the one meme I do know.
Yeah. So my guess is
No Dick
Ireland.
March.
I think there's a happy leprechaun. You know, who
In
is
Ireland?
like, I bet you I could grow a stash and solve a cancer moonshot program in one fucking go and split the G on my pint. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ireland.
I mean, I think both of your guesses are way better than mine. If this were real bar trivia, I would be like, take my opinion out of this. Like, you guys have feelings about it and I don't. But
Yeah.
because we all get to just express our dumb opinions here, I'm going to stick with America.
I'll stick with Canada. It sounds stupid enough for Canada.
And the answer is Australia.
Oh, that does make
Yeah.
about
Makes
them.
sense in reverse. Yep. Yep.
I mean,
They have
Canada,
raised
to be fair,
shit.
Canada and Australia are kind of the same thing.
I mean,
But they're
Aussies are
forgotten
so
about
much
English-speaking
more freewheeling fun. Like, you meet an Aussie when you're on vacay, and they're immediately your best friend. There is just such compatibility. Like, there's a compatibility of a nicety to
Yeah.
every Canadian. It is just like the largest swath of Midwesterners.
I was a
Aussies
camp
are-
counselor for a long time in my 20s, and we would always have through Camp America this program. We'd have some Aussies. We'd have teenagers coming from other countries to be counselors. But like I think we'd get a lot of Australians, and I agree. And they loved the Midwest.
Yeah, I like Australia. Never been, but I like it.
Yeah, a little freaky in the middle though. It's a whole like part of it that you don't want to go to.
Isn't
Oh,
that like
the
the same with
bush.
everybody though? The thing you love the most are just a little freaky in the middle.
Yeah,
You don't wanna get
Missouri's
to
a
the
little
bush.
freaky in the middle.
Movember has raised over $900 million for male health issues in the last like 20 something years, and they've supported prostate cancer and high suicide rates among men. So that's a good deal.
Supported them or supported finding solutions to them?
Probably expediting. Yeah, just
Yeah.
exclusively getting the job done.
Yeah, how do we?
Yeah.
Every year, there's like every guy should watch Minecraft 3 or 4 times in a row on a Sunday when it's raining.
Yeah. There's a power hour of Minecraft.
Do you think you'll
okay.
see it?
I'm never gonna touch that. No.
No, I don't think so.
I would go to support my fellow Iowan, Jason Momoa, but other than that,
Didn't know he was from Iowa.
I don't
Yeah.
think he claims it anymore. I think he claims Hawaii, but we will
He's-
always claim him from Winterset, maybe.
The
Exposed
big
him.
island, the big island of Ames. Yeah.
Yeah. He's from the little island of Winterset.
Okay,
Well, we all
question. Scientists, technology. Interesting. Oh, wow. We did not care, but they reported scientists finding promising signs of life on another planet. K2-18b to be specific, which sounds like the next droid that they're going to try and sell plushie toys for Star Wars. But the point is they found alien life potentially. What compound found in the atmosphere of the planet has led scientists to make this claim?
Nitrogen.
Yeah, so I heard about this, and that they found biosignatures that could like support that there's like like algae or something on this planet.
I heard
don't know.
plankton or something, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know a compound though.
I thought it was something nitrogen
Compound
based.
V.
I mean, hydrogen is like the thing that we're always looking for out in space. I went through a little space phase about
Yeah.
10 years ago. I was listening
know.
to Neil deGrasse Tyson's podcast for a minute there, and then just stopped.
And DGT. My brother's ex-girlfriend was an exoplanet expert from MIT, so
Holy shit.
I should know more, but I never.
Should we call her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no phone a
Yeah.
friend here, I don't think. But
Yeah, that's against the rules.
the craziest like high thought of space for me is we are all carbon-based life forms, right? So what happens when it's like silicon-based life forms? Like, is everyone all fractal and pointy? Like, there's just like as much imagination we can have. It's only off of one base coat.
Yeah.
So there's like a who knows what's 120 light years away or wherever how far this thing was, you know?
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
the...
Like, what signatures of life are we looking for that are like just totally irrelevant for that version of life?
Right, we're looking for the version of life that we know. There's the ice planet, or no, the moon, one of Jupiter's moons that like they think is just like frozen over water planet. Like that's where we should go look for life.
How many Kardashians do they have on this moon, though? Like, that's the sign of life that I need. I need a metric of, like, do
Speaking of
they
that,
have... Yeah.
Kardashians.
Kardashians, I've thought about this many times. Like, is it scarier to think that there are super advanced life forms out there, or to think that we are the most advanced life form? Which is scarier? That the Kardashians are like our biggest, like most global leader, like influential people, and that's the most influential person in the known universe, or that there is some other planet that is like way beyond us.
Are we really like that? We've just decided that the Kardashians are like our global export. Like
They are.
we feel. Are they?
They're like the most noted. Like if you could take anyone anywhere, they're. I'm not saying the most, but they would be top 10 in the world.
For sure, for sure.
Like Taylor Swift, Kardashians, Jesus.
Well, I mean, Jesus is supposedly out there.
Mickey Mouse.
We celebrated his liftoff yesterday. Again, to timestamp this episode.
Bunny Egg Day. Yeah.
Yeah, boy, we were stalling because we don't know this answer.
Oh, we don't have it. You're never going to get it. I just peeped. The answer for those, freaking medical blobbity blops out there listening, dimethyl sulfide.
I knew it.
Yeah. Right off the tip of the tongue.
Quizmaster Liz. That's a tough one.
Quiz Liz really got us good there. Throttling it a little bit from the first chicken jockey of.
Is that the name of our leader?
Yes, we have a research director, Lizzie, who helps pull these together. This is why I don't know the answer, and this is why Alan and you don't know the answers. So,
yeah, I keep wanting to call her like the
Strangers on a
quiz. We were trying to come up with some kind of like a pun for her.
I like
Quiz mess. Yeah.
Quiz Liz, simple, keep it good. Guys, it's time for our shots round.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't even have a shot.
Donald doesn't know what this is about. But basically, in a real trivia night, you don't get a Sprite or Code Red. You get a chance to shout out the answer in the comments in this version. And if you're right, you just might win actually a prize, which is nice. The sponsor of this particular shots round is Mila Soup Dumplings. Soupy dumps that you can have in your freezer at any time. They're actually very good. I am proud to be a brand ambassador of these dumps as a dumpling influencer. And if you use the promo code JOSH15, you get 15% off said dumps. And if you get this question right, you get a nice little care package of dumps sent to you.
So, Donald, this question isn't for us, right, Josh? This is for our...
Yeah, you're not. If you know the answer, don't say it. I doubt you
I'm
will.
Put the answer
I
in the
would
comments.
also... Yeah, you should. Put it in the... Yeah, put yourself in the mix. But, yeah, obviously, the weird thing about this is, like, you could probably Google these things, but don't. Don't try it. Don't do that.
Yeah, everyone put your phones down for the week. Wait, speaking of Josh, this is our second episode. We're still figuring out a lot of this. Are we telling the answer from last week?
Well, you're right. Shoot, we have to tell the answer from last week. Okay, while I figure out that correct answer, stall.
I will stall. Donald, let me tell you something that happened to me this weekend. Saturday was the first beautiful 80-degree weather day that we've had this year in New York. Everybody was outside. Everybody. I had shorts on, 5-inch inseam, put the shorts on, hat, sunglasses, went out, did some bar hopping, and right in the middle of the day, worst allergy attack I've ever had in my entire life. I was like over and over again at this bar, like this dive bar in my neighborhood, where like I was sneezing so much that I could tell like I was kind of ruining people's time. They were kind of like not talking as much anymore, and they're like, is that guy okay? And I had sunglasses on and like just paid and went home, and like both of my eyes were completely swollen shut.
What caused it?
Hay fever, just pollen.
I did Donald, I don't know if you know the like allergy test that you can do. They like pinprick. I got one of these a couple years ago, and the allergist was like, you are allergic to all of them. All the pollens, the ragweed, all of it. He's just like, every single one of them. So every year, actually kind of because of climate change, allergies for a lot of people are getting worse and worse and worse.
The dude trees be pollinating their skeet all over people.
You know, I hate when you say that. I hate when you say it, but it's true, and I just have to take that L. Anyway, this is a pretty terrible. I'm
Excellent
okay
segue.
again.
Actually, here we go. I'm glad you're okay.
No,
I have the
you don't
answer.
care. That just showed me that you don't care.
All I know, all of God.
Thoughts and prayers. This was the question for last week. Donald, don't worry about this. But did you know that Slovenia is known for its caves? And the question we asked was, what rare amphibian calls these caves home?
Yeah,
And
another
the
one I had no
answer,
idea.
of course, is the Olm salamander, also known as the baby dragon, can live up for 100 years without eating for a decade.
Really?
That is some crazy Slovenian salamanderic stuff. And I'd like to say, Alan, what a transition, because our question for this very shots round is about allergies. I'm not joking.
I knew it.
You didn't know.
I didn't know.
Did you?
No, not at all.
Don't.
I didn't time my tragedy this weekend for this question.
Well, I'm just saying allergies.
I'm
is
seeing
shit.
an allergist like next week to our audience. I am feeling better. I'm still puffy, as you might have noticed, but
Point is drop your best guess in the comments wherever you're listening. The question that allows you to win some dumps.
I want these dumps.
I don't
They are
like to call
legit.
them that. It makes
I'm really selling these soupy dumps.
as
But they somehow they flash freeze them so that like the soupy stuff stays in it and it's good. And so when you bite into it, even if it's been sitting in your freezer for 6 months, it's just like fresh.
It still
Yeah,
shoots.
it sounds
so-
awesome. Just calling it a soupy dump feels wrong as a brand ambassador.
Get your Mila. If you can answer this question, how much did the U.S. spend on allergy medication in 2024?
I was responsible for at least 2% of it.
Yeah, we're talking
Again.
Sizal. We're talking Flonase. We're talking Claritin, of course. We're talking Allegra. We're
I think
talking
1.6
everything.
Can I feel sorry for myself for just one more moment?
Yeah. Pity party.
I also then went to go get a refill of my Claritin D, which you have to go up to the counter for and show your ID, and I got flagged by New York State. They're like, you've bought too much pseudoephedrine this month. We're not giving you any more allergy medication. And I was like, both of my eyes are completely like blood red. I'm like, do I look like I'm here to make meth? And she's like, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. It's a state law. The state flagged me.
That's wild. Can you
That's
make
wild.
meth out of Sudafed?
This podcast didn't pay for itself.
I hear Walter winning our podcast.
Okay, we got some current events. It's the happy stuff.
Awesome.
U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland recently met with Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the man wrongfully deported to an El Salvadorian prison. What U.S. law is being used to justify the deportation?
Oh, it's the
You know this.
Alien Invasion Act.
Of Independence Day with Will Smith?
It's so very close.
Jeffrey
No.
Goldblum?
Serious. It's
And President
it's,
Pullman?
The Alien Invasions Act, which says that everyone must turn on their radio to hear from Orson Welles if we're being invaded from the sky.
No, I think this is real.
No. You think invasion of aliens are real? Yes, I agree, and apparently half of America does too. But you're 58% right with that, and I do know the right answer because the last time they used this was to put the Chinamen in the camps, and that's why it's a little messy. But it's the Alien Enemies Act that allows for deportation or detainment.
I was gonna say the Welcome to Earth Act.
Yeah. But it's EARF, the Welcome to Earth Act.
He does not say that, by the way. That is a movie myth. No, he says Earth.
Who says
that's a Mandela effect?
Donald, have you ever heard of the movie Independence Day, starring Will Smith? We can't have young people on here. They make me...
No. This is a unique brand of delightful youth here. But
Donald, don't apologize.
Yeah,
I do like Alien Invasion Act, though. I think that's fine.
I do. And we're going to need that soon enough when, what is it, Planet 21B64K2 comes on through.
I don't think you're supposed to call Koreans that anymore.
Yes, you're right. Unhoused, unearthed humanoids come
Donald,
through.
I have a question.
I don't think you can say that, Josh.
I know you said that you weren't like allowed to like see a lot of stuff growing up, but did you have a movie, like, I don't know if it was like your favorite movie from childhood, but like, did you have one that you were allowed to see that's like, oh, that was my movie as a kid?
Braveheart, because that's what a man is.
Braveheart?
Braveheart and the Patriot, yeah.
What age? Were you like 9 years old?
Braveheart is older than Independence Day.
You know, I'm not saying this is logical. I'm just saying how it is.
He was missing the VHS, so you got it or you don't.
Yeah, Brave. A lot of Mel Gibson, Braveheart, and The Patriot are the two movies I remember most vividly watching.
So, did your parents? Was it like we don't want you watching stuff, but you are allowed to see Braveheart, or did you see it with like friends?
Yeah, no, it was. We don't want you watching stuff, but every now and then, like maybe once a month, we would like sit down as a family and watch a movie sometime. And Braveheart was common. The Patriot was a good one. Typically, it was a documentary.
Like Braveheart.
Yeah.
Like good 3-hour doc. Yeah.
I thought he was going to say Shrek.
Braveheart. First time I ever saw boobs. Never forget it. Think about it often.
How good do you feel about sports? Were you allowed to watch sports, Donald?
No. Sports are worse than movies.
Okay. Well, we're going to try
Josh,
one
you're on your own.
question. Let's see what happens. Flying blind. Because the NFL draft's coming up, and I am excited because there is a gentleman named Travis Hunter who won the Heisman Trophy, and he plays both ways, which is very rare. And again, DEI, LGBT.
I didn't know they allowed that in college.
Exactly. No, but he plays wide receiver and cornerback. Those were my positions as well. Texas forever, high school ball, yeah. But he's going to be drafted, and he insists that he's going to play both offense and defense. So again, he'll be the first since maybe like Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders to do this. He's had great success with Deion Sanders as his coach at the University of Colorado. The question is, what's the name of the live bison that runs with the CU Boulder team onto the field?
Joe Biden.
Joe Bison?
Nice.
Yeah, I think step one is knowing that the Colorado Bison is the name of the team. And then you're like, well, what's the mascot? But this is like not a Bucky the Badger guy. This is a real
More importantly, if anyone was
bison.
wondering, Georgia Tech's mascot is the Ramblin' Wreck.
See, you know that much. And I guarantee, Tech's
Even though
definitely
we're
played.
the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
Mm-hmm.
That's very interesting. My college's mascot was the Gorlock. I went to Webster University, and it was a made-up animal because our very small school was at the corners of Gore and Lockwood were the streets.
It sounds like you went to a liberal arts college.
Yeah.
You hit it on the head.
The Gorlock seems like something made up by like the guy who lost out to Dr. Seuss, you know? Like, beware of the Gorlock.
Josh, okay, here's my question. Do you know the answer? Did you know the answer before looking?
I haven't looked yet, and I am regrettably not into, Big 12 action enough to know this. I think I could have handled it if it was a Big 10 school.
Okay.
So I'm just going to pop ahead and tell you.
Well,
Ralphie the Buffalo. Nobody's going to get it unless you know it. And there's plenty of people who might have been listening who say, yeah, of course it's Ralphie.
They're screaming Ralphie at us when we
They're
didn't know.
screaming Ralphie.
Yeah, I was
Again,
gonna.
It's a live bison, and it's called Ralphie the Buffalo. What's that about?
I was gonna go with like Billy the Buffalo or something.
Joe Bison is objectively a better name.
Joe Bison is canon now, for sure.
Yeah, but they would have had to like really like lead him around the field slowly, get him back to where he's going.
He wouldn't remember any of the plays.
Yeah, guys, seriously.
Yeah. The refs are a bunch of malarkey. Yeah.
Oh, the first impression of the podcast, I think.
Here's what's fun. We like to end it with a couple of questions that are kind of rapid fire and specific to our guest's zone of expertise. But I didn't tell Donald this. He told me civil engineering or whatever this shit. I know that you play a pretty convincing French news reporter. And so these are all Francophile questions. You want to tell the guests about Louis a little bit?
Well, God bless the internet. Thank you, internet. So Louis Laurent is a fake French news reporter who attempts to sneak into every major political event or any major thing that he can find to interview the most powerful people he can find to say the dumbest things possible. And that has been my last year, where I ended up interviewing Marco Rubio, Vivek Ramaswamy, met Trump, but the Secret Service took our camera, met Joe Biden.
And is Louis in the room with us now?
No.
No.
He's asleep.
Okay.
Did you not notice the Chattanooga Parisian, sort of experience as he sucks a long cigarette on this porch?
Well, if I wanted to see this
great.
character, where can I see it?
At Louis_Laurent on Instagram. Watch my single viral video. No, I'm kidding.
You got 2.5 virals. Come on. All right.
Yeah,
Donald,
we counted up because there was a brand deal potential, and I think it hit 20 million views total last year. So like, it was really fun. It was great.
Well
and
done,
that's
Louis.
also helpful for everyone who thinks like, oh, I missed the wave or whatever. Like, again, you just popped in and you just got good stuff. So for those listening that don't think they can make it, including myself, it's probably you. You're just not good at this. So just.
I think the real thing is like you can't and won't make it in a niche that has already been made or a thing that has already been done. Like, it's really hard to make it as like a lifestyle person posting stuff about a lake, for example, because people have already done that. But if you do things that are incredibly unique and topical to the moment with your sense of humor, I think it's still very possible.
There was a guy that we used to watch videos of in science class who would take like a giant block of magnesium, I think it was, and throw it into lakes.
Yeah.
And it would have you seen this, Josh? It would just explode. It would like cause like a huge explosion.
That's just like there's a good part of TikTok that is just watching those kind of videos. Yeah.
And that's why we're dying.
Yeah. People are talking about like, oh, men's health is important. It's not health problems that are killing us. It's us.
It's more like magnesium.
Okay, Donald, channel your inner Louis and answer these Frenchy questions. What is the current tallest bridge in the world?
It is in the south of France. It is the windy little white bridge.
That is maybe correct. Great answer. It's the Millau Viaduct.
I'm the closest to French here, and I'm not getting any of this.
I actually
come
did
on,
know
man.
that.
Pierre,
I'm being
Mr.
honest.
Pierre.
If I thought about that a little longer, I actually did know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Well done.
As the name sounded, I was like, yeah, that's correct.
don't lollygag through the rest of this, okay? Which French monarch died by hitting his head on a doorframe while riding a horse?
I'm just impressed that he's riding a horse through a door frame. Really, that's what I like about that. I would say it was Henry the Sixth.
Or was it King Amnesia?
I'm going to give you one more guess. Guess a king with your
King
names.
Louis the Fifth, Eighth, 10th.
It's King Louis the 64th Super Bowl. No, King Louis the Third was supposedly chasing after a woman who was running to seek refuge in her father's house. Things were so cute back then, right?
Love my namesake.
Hey.
Yeah.
And what did he hit his head on?
a door frame while riding a horse.
I'm
So I
assuming
think
that
it was
he
like
was
low clearance, and he just conked himself.
I'm assuming he was attempting to escort her back to her father for safety purpose.
Full gentleman, just like Harrison Ford in Blade Runner. Yeah.
That's
Chase,
kind
the
of
Chase
man
King.
alive.
Okay, sustainability innovations are being made on a bus route from Bordeaux to Blaye. What byproduct from production in the region is being used to create biofuel for this route's buses?
Bordeaux to Blaye. I would assume something wine.
Mm-hmm.
Grape skin.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give it to you. Fuck it. Grape mark. This is the solid residue.
Yes.
This is the solid residue left after grapes are pressed for winemaking. I think that's right. You did it. How's that feel?
Good. I'm 2 for 10 right now.
Honestly, that's pretty good. You know, we don't want to make it too easy. So, yeah, that's the show. Do you feel like you won, Donald?
I think I beat George Clooney.
Yeah, you have.
When you
He's
have
got
him
zero.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you have him on.
Well, let's be serious. We're probably going to give him some toss-ups. You know, like, in good night and good luck.
Well, it's crazy. I've never seen him.
How many oceans are there between 4 and 11?
I think they're making another one.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I think they're coming back, I heard.
That's like your
hope it's
catchphrase, man.
all
I think
night
they're making another one. It's like, that's just so...
Is that my catchphrase?
Every single time. There's something.
Donald, you seen Ocean's 11? Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Great movie.
The reason I heard about it is because recently they did the all women's cast and people got mad.
People did get really mad, which was strange.
Well,
yeah,
there was
Ocean's
a
8.
whole... It was like Ghostbusters. It was Oceans. It was like, we're doing everything.
Little Women.
Yeah. Little Women.
Yeah, Little Women was all men.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I would love that.
Little Women brought
good luck
to
with
you
that.
by creatine. Yeah.
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 Donald,
Mr.
do you have
Burstein
anything
just
to
went,
plug?
"Ready?"
What do you got coming up? What do you want the folks to know?
I'm going to be going on tour for a little bit with an incredible country band out of West Texas, Flatland Cavalry.
Flatland Cavalry. Okay.
They're really great songwriters and band, just like really classic country music, and yeah, really honored to be doing some dates with them. They have an opener band, 2 world-class bands. They have the appetizer opener, they have the main chorus of Flatland, and then I'm just sort of the palate cleanser in the middle. I'm just like the little mint leaf that you chew up and spit out before they actually watch the band.
You
Have you-
accidentally ate the small towel before it
Yeah.
totally expands in
Expands.
your mouth.
Yeah.
We have to figure out some way to end these without collapsing into this. There's something that's happening at the end where it's like people that don't want to get off the phone are just like, all right, hope
You
the weather's good for
Three
you tomorrow.
Midwesterners on this call. You're not leaving anytime easy.
Oh, are we Midwestern goodbye right now?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we got it from the
Couple
table.
tree times.
Now we're standing in the doorway, and now
I'll be
Donald's
standing next to the cars soon.
yeah, Donald's going out to the car. Can I also just quickly plug? I will be in the very first scene of next week's The Equalizer on CBS
Heck yeah.
on Sunday. So check that out if you
You
are
get
so
killed?
inclined. I can't say.
It's an unequal episode because the best stuff happens out the gate.
Nice.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
And that's how we end this one.
That's
Thank
how
you
we
so
end
much,
it.
Donald. Hey, Mila, Josh15. Check the question, the shots round. Win some dumps. Everybody loves
Yeah,
dumps.
get your dumps, everybody.
Dumps. Can't forget about them.
Till next week. Check, please. Test that out as the end of
That's
the.
my baby.
We'll come up with a way to end it.
We gotta get ourselves some merch. So we need more taglines. We'll get there.